The suffering of society. It brings about plenty of emotions, fascinating and empowering those who reach for its call.
Whether it be agony or despair, humanity will take the fall when it comes to these supernatural serial killers.
William Afton, the purple man behind the slaughter, brought to you by Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
Junko Enoshima, headmaster and ultimate despair of Hope's Peak Academy.
For this match, we will be taking most sources for Afton, using media such as the books and the movie as secondary material, with a prime focus on the games. While Junko will be getting all mainline Danganronpa games, as well as the anime as primary material, with the manga serving as secondary material when applicable. I'm Aqua, the mouse with the vision.
And I'm Ecto, the ghost with the free time.
You all voted, and it's up to us to decide a victor in the realm of gods. It's the 1980s. Kids around the world have fallen in love with the newest sensation, Freddy Fazbear and Friends.
This animatronic quartet had numerous adventures, and even their own pizza establishment to bring joy to children across the globe.
A place where family and fun come to life. Nothing could ever possibly go wrong. Oops.
Despite what the corporate suits at Fazbear Entertainment want you to believe, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza was a place of tragedy.
CEO and businessman William Afton was just a normal family man to the naked eye, raising a family consisting of his lovely daughter Elizabeth and 2 sons, creating Fazbear Entertainment alongside his best friend Henry Emily. But nothing is quite as it seems, as Afton was more than a mere man. He was a monster.
Afton was always infatuated with the concept of agony, a substance tied to the negative emotion that bonds the spirits of angered individuals to objects, making them haunted and possessed. With Afton wanting to test his substance by luring attendees of Fazbear's into the back room with a yellow bunny suit, then brutally killing and stuffing their remains into animatronic suits that he himself built. One of these very victims being none other than Henry's daughter, Charlotte.
These murders were eventually discovered, leading to Fazbear's complete shutdown. The public moved on from the tragedy, but his victims did not, possessing the very same animatronics he stuffed them into, roaming and terrorizing the night guards that came to watch over the location. With these loose ends, Afton decided to destroy these animatronics once and for all. Unfortunately for him, these angered souls confronted him in the very same establishment he killed them in all those years ago.
To fight back, Afton adorned the very same suit he killed them in, only for the sweat and rain sinking through the ceiling to hit the cold metallic contraption, triggering the locks within the suit.
Afton was spring-locked.
Trapped in a suit with his lungs punctured and no way out, Afton died. Yet, this wasn't the end, as a remnant of his agony permanently bonded Afton to his corpse, turning him into a mechanical beast, a Springtrap to bear torment upon a new set of victims.
Afton's mechanical figure makes him very physically imposing. He could choke humans out with his bare hand, send Mike flying backwards into the air, and should be comparable to Fredbear, whose bite can crush the human skull.
Judging that the child looks around 7 or 8 years old, we could judge their height in meters and then judge the bite distance, getting us to about 244 joules.
Converting the joules to tons of TNT, this would get out around...
Afton's one tough son of a bitch too, with him once being tased and just shrugging it off, and this was before he was dead too, so that's especially impressive. His suits are even capable of taking gunshots, but not cupcake bites.
Afton is also notorious for his infamous motto, "I always come back," cause he means it. Even when his remains are completely destroyed, Afton has shown the ability to possess other objects, with him once possessing the Stitch Wraith, an entity composed of 2 other souls, not just Afton.
Though Afton can also pull pieces apart and combine them into a single entity, becoming the Agony, an entity composed of different infected objects with Afton possessing it. Though Afton's possession isn't perfect, spirits can be exorcised as seen when the dead children were given their happiest day.
If physical violence isn't his forte, he can always resort to the goated stabby-stabby technique, with Afton often being seen carrying around a kitchen knife he likely kept from the pizzeria. Though Dead by Daylight steps this up a slight bit, giving Afton a fire axe he could toss around.
Though, with a supernatural series like this, it's obvious that Afton is more than just a physically intimidating guy. His entire entity is supernatural, with his now ghostly image coming with the ability to make technology and people around him go haywire, with just his sheer presence breaking down those within his vicinity. As seen with the Phantom entities that resemble the OG Freddy crew, though they're entirely ghosts that jump scare the Night Guard. Their jump scares can even cause Fazbear Fright's tech to go haywire and the Night Guard having to reset the system.
This mindfuckery is likely enhanced by illusion discs, a technology invented by Afton to mess with perception. These discs induce nausea, turn things invisible to the naked eye, and makes people hallucinate to the point where things that are not real feel real.
Afton's a very smart dude to be able to create something like that. This is also seen in his ability to manipulate his own victims to his whims, with him convincing the original 4 animatronics that he was a friend who wanted to help them. Not only this, but he also invented the Funtime animatronics, which are designed to perfectly kill children as quickly and violently as possible, as seen in Fazbear Fright's story number 3, where Funtime Freddy painfully describes being able to freeze, burn, starve, and decapitate children. Thanks, Afton. Real great guy we've got over here.
A web of pain and misery follows him no matter where he goes. When he was found in the original location and set free in Fazbear Frights, the place was lit on fire in an attempt to kill him, though he survived, then found himself at a new establishment, sneaking in and finding a new night guard to torment. But to his annoyance, this was no simple pizzeria. It was a trap, designed to eliminate all of Afton's loose ends, and himself.
Henry, the life whom Afton unceremoniously ruined all those years ago, alongside Michael, the son who had to pay for his father's mistakes, had come back to end him.
The building was locked down and burnt asunder. Despite Afton's attempts to escape, the deepest pit of hell opened to swallow him whole, finally terminating the web of lies, suffering, and agony Afton had kept going for decades.
Even in death, Afton evolved beyond just a simple family man. He became a monster. A man who kills simply for the pleasure and nothing else. His instrument of agony spreading his symphony even decades later.
The legacy of William Afton will forever be a sinister one. Hope's Peak Academy, a shining example of leading the best and brightest of students into their future. Full of the ultimates, students with special talents, like the ultimate detective and even the ultimate fashionista. Nothing could ever possibly go wrong.
The world as we know it is over, plunged into the depths of despair, and only one face can be attributed to this shocking display of torment: Junko Enoshima.
Born as the younger sister to the ultimate soldier Mukuro Ikasaba, Junko possessed the talent titled the Ultimate Analyst, with her being extremely intelligent. She describes being able to analyze someone's thoughts, actions, and movements quickly. Hell, some characters describe her talent as basically precognition. But with a power so useful, came the catch that life for Junko was boring.
With nothing to surprise her, the world became nothing but a nihilistic nightmare, except for one feeling, an insurmountable emotion that only the deepest of dark could emit: despair.
An unpredictable force of nature, despair engraved through Junko's mind. It's all she could ever want out of the world. And with her super intelligence, she was capable of making that a reality, as she was invited to Hope's Peak to be one of their shining students. This was a mistake.
Junko blackmailed and extorted all of Hope's Peak, using their involvement in the Izuru Kamakura project to incite a large backlash against the Academy, amassing a cult following with her now becoming the ultimate despair.
Followed in tow by her remnants of despair, these being students of Class 7-7B, which were brainwashed using a set of audio cues and a video, with them now under Junko's control to use their abilities for destruction. Alongside that came of course Junko's most useful asset, the Teddy Bear of Despair, Monokuma.
Monokuma is a deadly force, with his base model having several different copies lying around in the world thanks to the many factories lying around. Though the main one we're familiar with in the games is for Junko's killing games, serving as the headmaster and the executioner, being able to pummel Leon to death with baseballs, electrify Mondo enough to melt him into butter, and in later entries Monokuma could deep fry Teruteru in a volcano, burn Korekio alive in a melting pot and then melt his soul, and even toss you into space. Junko and Monokuma know about 20,264 different ways to subject someone to despair, so they're stacked in ways to kill you.
This also comes in handy when it comes to the various other Monokuma units. Siren Monokumas, Beast Monokumas, fucking Ball Monokumas, clean up an aisle, my underwear!
Monokuma units aren't just known for their ability to kill you, they're also very strong. The Headmaster unit can match and surpass the likes of the ultimate martial artist Sakura Ogami. And this silly guy, Nekomaru, who literally shit so hard he could blow up his bathroom. 95 tons of TNT, by the way.
What?
Plus, one Monokuma unit known as the Big Bang Monokuma can split clouds coming to about 174 kilotons of TNT. And no, this isn't only exclusive to that Monokuma, as characters like Genocide Jack could directly match it.
Speaking of Genocide Jack, her totally not girlfriend, Komaru, was capable of dodging a hacking gun point blank. This hacking gun is directly described as firing in an electromagnetic wave, which travels at light speed, and a Monokuma unit could directly deflect it, giving Monokuma relativistic reactions. And this isn't surprising, as Monokuma units can fly into space at super quick speeds.
Using her powerful mechanisms and her ultimate talents, Junko wanted to bring about despair to the other class at Hope's Peak, setting up a killing game with Monokuma watching over everything. Using Mukuro as a decoy posing as herself, which she then promptly killed with a bunch of spikes. Thanks.
Watching as the brightest of students turned to the darkest of despair, killing one another for freedom. It excited her more than anything in the world, watching friends become enemies in real time, until it finally reached a smaller group of 6, where they all vowed to not kill each other, much to Junko's chagrin. So she faked a whole case to end up killing another person, with Makoto Naegi taking the fall.
Though Makoto is the ultimate lucky student, so he survived his execution and alongside Kyoko, the ultimate detective, figured out the whole gosh darn thing, revealing Junko as the true mastermind of the killing game.
With her cornered and on the edge of despair, Junko felt the most glee of her entire life, forcing herself to endure every execution she had committed in that killing game. And she survived all of them, except for the very last one, being crushed to death.
But that wasn't the end of Junko, far from it. With her AI self working to control Monokuma units around the world, and Makoto and the gang working to bring back hope to counteract the despair Junko had unraveled, freeing the remnants of despair from their brainwashing and saving the world.
In spite of failing in the end, Junko truly succeeded, bringing the world around her to despair and ultimately dying to it. And if that doesn't speak to the character of Junko Enoshima, what else does? This episode of Realm of Gods is sponsored by us. We host a podcast every Sunday talking about random matchups, from Mario vs. Kirby to Perry vs. Skipper, featuring a majority of members on the team and some special guests. We also have a Patreon, which offers exclusive rewards like behind-the-scenes content and episodes early. Lastly, check out our Discord server, where we host daily matchup discussions and more. Thanks for listening and thanks for watching. Back to the show. Will Afton spring a victory against the ultimate despair, or will Junko crush this last remnant of agony?
You all voted for it, and it's finally here. Let's find out in the fight.
Get him! Look at this place! So dusty, so crusty, so last decade. I mean, killer robots and a pizza joint? How original! Time to tear down this scrapyard circus and replace it with something truly despair-inducing. What the hell are you supposed to be?
Your worst agony.
Oh, the despair. give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
I always come back.
That's even better. I'll make you into my own personal weapon of despair.
Holy shit, did we just let a mass murderer use another mass murderer as a puppet for more mass murder?
Don't think about it too much.
So, this fight was complicated to say the least. Both of these characters have a wide army of robots by their side, and can match each other blow for blow in intelligence.
While at first glance you would think Afton is superior at robotics and hacking, being a major benefactor in the creation of the animatronics and how they operate, Junko built the Monokuma units on her own, and her AI could take over the island in Danganronpa 2, which was specifically designed to rehabilitate her group of ultimate despairs.
Junko is the ultimate analyst, which allowed her to find weaknesses in Afton way faster than the other way around, with her being able to come up with 20,264 ways to subject someone to despair, and predict events before they even happen. Though Afton is capable of understanding and manipulating Remnant and Agony to his whim. With how varied both sides are, let's call this a draw just to be safe.
But the same can't be said for physical stats. While Afton is one durable son of a bitch, Junko was hitting much, much harder, with the Big Bang Monokuma feat being thousands of times stronger than Afton being able to crush a skull. Sure, you could argue Afton scaling to some of the other animatronics in the books, like the twisted animatronics who could smash through walls and endure being ignited in a pool of gasoline, but none of these even remotely come close to the Big Bang Monokuma feat.
Plus, she was definitely faster. Monokuma units are capable of dodging the hacking gun, which are relativistic speeds, while Afton is barely capable of walking down a hallway in an hour. Even with higher-end speed arguments, like moving through the vents at Mach 2 speeds, Junko is thousands of times faster. No matter what way you cut it, Junko takes stats.
Where this really became a headache was counters. Afton is notorious for always coming back upon death. Even if Junko completely decimated him into nothing, he would come back as a soul, one that could very easily possess Junko or her Monokuma units.
However, this isn't a very reliable way of winning, at least in comparison to Junko's. Afton possessing Monokuma units isn't reliable, as they can self-destruct, and there's too many of them for Afton to reliably keep possessing. Even Junko could very easily exercise Afton's soul, as a Monokuma unit does exactly that against Korekio. Now you could argue this wouldn't count, as V3 is a completely different mastermind and arguably different continuity, but that mastermind, otherwise known as the Ultimate Cosplayer, was directly impersonating Junko and Monokuma, replicating what they could realistically do in their killing games, meaning it's likely the original Junko could probably replicate the same thing. There's not much suggesting otherwise rather than headcanon. If we're going to give Afton almost every continuity outside of the games, this should be fair.
If we ignore this example, Komaru gets possessed in Ultra Despair Girls, and Toko was capable of exercising that spirit. With her analyst mind, there's nothing to say that Junko can't replicate this.
And even if we ignore that example as well, possessing Junko or Monokuma wouldn't really change anything, as Monokuma units can still act even upon Junko's death. At most, this would be a stalemate, with neither party truly being able to permanently dispose of the other. Until Afton ends up possessing a Monokuma unit that gets sent flying into space, permanently leaving Springtrap out of any options to get back to Earth.
An unexpected outcome for sure, but at the end of the day, Afton was too overwhelmed, thanks to Junko's better counters, impenetrable offense, and speed.
Afton's turned purple. How agonizing! I guess you could say he met his ultimate despair.
The winner is Junko Enoshima.
Kazuya Mishima. Your corporation has assets that are more valuable to me. They will be mine to take. 7 minutes is all I will need.
Oh, what in the...